welcome or welcome back to my channel, Wanderlust Nostalgia. I am Ari and I am back with another video. These are considered vacations gone wrong, cruise edition. So come on, hop on board with me as we travel thousands of miles into sea and listen and experience these story times for ourselves. Cheers to the worst cruises ever. Before we get into the story times, if you would please like, comment, and share my video. If you love videos like these, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss another video.
As promised, here is story time for how I got banned from Carnival Cruise Lines for life. 4L, y'all. Okay? So, y'all gonna hear this story. Y'all gonna be like, are you serious? Like, it was a bunch of BS. But basically, if you ever been on Carnival Cruise Lines, you know, after the club, like all them clubbing videos you be seeing where it be lit, it do be like that. But if you ever been, you know, after the club, the hot spot on the boat is to go get pizza. Everybody and their mama go and get pizza to eat after the club because it be open late, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So, after the club one night, me and my family were all on the boat together, right? So we go get pizza, like norm. I'm with my cousins, keep in mind you, like, my cousins are like 18, 19, like, you know, they're younger, and I'm the eldest. So I'm with my family, and we're in line. 2 of my cousins had left before us, so they were already in line before us, so we were like a few spots behind them, right? I don't know what happened. All I know is I think one of my other cousins went to go speak to them. So there was this man behind them. He's drunk, he's belligerent, and I look over and all I see is him just kind of going off on my cousins. Mind you, my cousin is 18. They're young, like these are like babies basically. So he's going off on the mouth at them. So I asked him real nicely, I said, what is the problem? Like, what is the problem? He's still going, and I'm like, they didn't cut you, they've been here, like they did not cut you. And so I don't know, y'all. All I know is he was with some woman. This is where shit took a turn, y'all. This is where shit took a turn. She looks at me and she goes, he wasn't talking to you. And I'm like, okay, but I was talking to him because he's talking to my family, so I'm talking to him, right? Oh, okay. Long story short, everything kind of like settles. Like everybody get their food, they get their pizza, whatever. I look over, y'all. This girl is staring me down. Like she's staring me down. Like I'm pretty sure if she had a gun, she would have shot me. Like she is staring me hardcore down. And I never gave punk. Nothing about gay punk. Okay. So I see her staring at me. I'm talking about like mugging me bad. So I ask her, I'm like, what are you looking at? I swear to God, I was so calm. I'm like, what are you looking at? She go, what? And before I could ask her again, y'all, she swing. And that's how you know this trifling little funky little hoe was just looking for a fight. She was just looking for a fight again. What are you looking at? What? What are you looking at? Swing on me. Now, I ain't gonna lie. She connected a little bit though, just a little bit. Like she, you know, tapped my chin or whatever. Before I could even like understand what was happening or even swing back, everybody stopping the fight. Security over there, which is so funny. All of a sudden you over here, but you wasn't over here to de-escalate before I got hit in the face, right? Security ends up following me and my family back to the room, which I'm like, it's crazy because I didn't even hear her. She hit me. And I don't know if people followed them or whatever. I don't know. But they followed us back. He's like, do you want to make a statement, this and the third? And I'm like, yeah, because here you are following me. That's you know what, I ain't gonna cuss, but she hit me. So I do my statement or whatever. They're like, okay, you'll hear from us. Like, well, whatever, we'll do our investigation. All I know is we're getting off the boat the next day. Like, this is the boat, however you say it. It's the day off the goddamn boat. As I'm getting off the boat, I scan my badge. They hand me a piece of paper. As I'm walking off the boat, they waited until I'm walking off the boat. They hand me the piece of paper that says, you are banned. Like, you are on Carnival's do not sell list. What? I was like, what, bro? I tried everything to get this reversed. Like, I didn't email Carnival. I called Carnival. I didn't call the FBI because, y'all, they talking about the only way I could press charges is to call the FBI because it was in international waters. I'm like, y'all just don't want to do y'all goddamn job. I'm like, that is so crazy to me. So, yeah, bro, y'all do y'all thing. Like, tag Carnival. Call Carnival. Call the CEO. Tell them this is not right. This is an outrage. This is an outrage. This is not right, Lord. Shade room. Do something. Shade room. Do something. Somebody do something, please. I got assaulted. That's why I got banned from Carnival for life, because I got assaulted. If I would've known I was gonna get banned, I would've hit her back. Like, what the hell? Come on now. It ain't right, Lloyd, but whatever.
I was in an active lawsuit with a major cruise line for a couple of years, and now that it's finally settled, I think I can finally talk about it. I just don't think I could say the name, but like over 2 years, this lawsuit went on. And essentially what happened, without going into an extreme amount of detail, the people that I was with on the cruise that were family members, one of them injured himself on the deck of the pool on the cruise, and in summary, completely, and I mean completely, shattered his leg. I mean, fucked his knee, everything, just astronomically fucked. Keep in mind, this cruise was also around Christmas time. It fell over Christmas time and New Year's Eve. So when he breaks his just entire leg, knee, everything, obviously the first thing we do is go to the ship's infirmary, right? They basically tell us, you're fucked. Like, you gotta pack your bags, you're getting off the boat. Okay, we're in Cozumel, Mexico, bitch. Okay? And this sounds fun and cute and dandy, and I really truly do not mean anything by this. If you watch my videos, you know how progressive I am. Like, please don't start that shit with me. We were not in like Cozumel, we were in like Cozumel, bitch. Okay? I was fucking hysterically sobbing, looking out the window at the houses because they were basically built on top of dirt, and I'm like, where the fuck is a hospital supposed to pop up in this area that we're in? And again, I don't mean anything mean by it. We were just truly in a really, really rough area. Mind you, when we get to the hospital in Cozumel, they don't even have like any heat. He was freezing, poor dude. He asked for like some sort of a heated blanket or like a heat lamp or anything like that they might have had, and they brought in, I shit you not, a lamp, a literal physical lamp like you probably have on your nightstand right now, like with just a twisty little light bulb. That's what they brought in. They did not have band-aids, fucking cotton balls and tape, like scotch tape as band-aids. They put an IV in his neck because they could not even get it in his arm or anywhere else. He had to have an emergency surgery there. Like I said, it was over the holidays. We were struggling to get in touch with the U.S. Embassy. We also had full insurance with this cruise line, the full package. We paid so much extra money for it. Excuse me. My family member paid extra money for it. Just so you know, that insurance does nothing. Mind you, we were stuck in Cozumel. Even if we wanted to go back home to the U.S. and we had been able to get in touch with the U.S. Embassy, the cruise line had our passports. When we got off the boat, they told us, we cannot give you your passport. Somebody's going to come to the hospital and give it to you. Days ghosted us. We don't hear a goddamn thing. Not even a lo siento puta. Nothing. Nada. Me and Google Translate are like this at this point, okay? We are basically raw dogging, okay? Imagine a family member is having an emergency surgery, basically having his entire leg replaced, which, by the way, just newsflash, they did botch the entire surgery. So as soon as he got essentially life flighted, like helicoptered back to the US when we got our passports and in touch with the embassy, they had to redo the surgery, like re-break his fucking leg months after and like let it heal wrong so that they could break it again and do the surgery correctly in the US. Okay, like this was literally insane. Another crazy detail about this story, and this is probably too much to be sharing, but the certain family member has a certain reaction to anesthesia. And I had happened to remember this from hearing a story that I had heard probably 5 years ago at this point. I had randomly heard a story that he once had anesthesia and he did not wake back up. They had to use Narcan. Okay, I'm not sure how American you are watching this if you're American. Medications do not go by the same name in other countries, okay? So I could not look at this doctor and say, Narcan, you can't use anesthesia, he needs Narcan. They're looking at me like I'm a dumb blonde American, which I am, and is so fucking valid, but Google wouldn't even fucking tell me the alternatives and, like, the equivalents. Like, ChatGPT wasn't even a thing when this was going on, at least to my knowledge. I needed ChatGPT real bad this trip, did not have it. But I finally, by the grace of God and by Google, I figure out what the equivalent is as they are, mind you, rolling him off into this emergency surgery, and as they transport him from bed to bed, almost drop him. I see his entire body almost hit the floor when the poor man's leg is already fucking broken. Like, it was horrendous. It was truly, I feel like, what anybody's worst nightmare could be going on a cruise ship, besides, like, seriously not making it out. I can't even tell the full story and put into words how fucking terrifying and crazy of an experience that was. We ended up winning the lawsuit. Duh. Them keeping our passports, ghosting us for days when we had the insurance. And the reason that he fell was because they weren't maintaining the deck properly and he slipped and fell. It was completely not his fault at all. He was able-bodied, he was sober. There was literally nothing he was doing wrong. He was simply walking, enjoying the sunset, and next thing you know, boom. But I have not watched the documentary yet. I obviously fully comprehend that is a much worse situation. I'm not trying to compare it. I just see other people sharing their cruise ship horror stories, and that would be mine that I have not been able to share for years. I really learned how to say lo siento a lot because I'm a dumb American, and literally everything I did, I just lo siento, lo fucking siento. I'm sorry, it really was a nightmare though, like it was so scary for real.
Sharing my cruise horror story, let's get ready. Right off the bat, cruise was Royal Caribbean, ship was Explorer of the Seas. And this was a Greek Isles cruise. In my life, I've probably been on over 15 cruises, and this was the worst one, by far. So I decided to do a cruise to Europe because it's the best and cheapest way to see a lot of places in a short amount of time. The food was so bad on that ship that I got food poisoning. Did I alone on the entire ship get food poisoning? No, I would say about 60 to 80 other people did. Not everyone reported it though. This is what I got from talking to people that were on the ship. So I was eating at the little buffet, and when I finished, I left. This was like after a long day. Like, we didn't have time to go to a restaurant, so we just went to the little Windjammer, it's called. It's like a little buffet that's always open. Upon leaving, I noticed that like people, I saw this one lady drop tongs on the floor for like french fries, and then she put them back. And I had to tell the guy, like, yo, like, she just dropped that, like, the whole thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll take care of it. Didn't take care of it. So there was either definitely a contamination issue, like a hygiene issue, and I think that's why everybody got really sick. I threw up in public 3 times. It was really, really embarrassing. I had to run out of the elevator and I threw up. They ended up putting little throw up bags on all the staircases because they were entirely tired of cleaning up all the vomit. They made an announcement about it. Me being the nurse that I am, I decided that I can't hold down fluids. I'm super dehydrated. I need an IV. So I went downstairs to the medic. I go to the medic downstairs. I'm a nurse. Look, I get it. Like, sometimes we forget things, but I'm 28 years old. Nobody asked me if I was throwing up because I was pregnant. They did not do a pregnancy test. They didn't do any sort of testing at all. And then somehow they came up with a diagnosis of like gastroenteritis. Oh, they didn't tell me my diagnosis, by the way. They just like gave me some meds, sent me on my way. It was like, bye. Very, very sketchy. Like, they just jumped to that conclusion and they didn't want to diagnose me with foodborne illness, which is what I had. I had food poisoning. But if you get food poisoning and I'm on the ship, it would look bad on the ship. So, you know, next morning I go to get off the ship and my card goes, no, ma'am, you can't get off the ship. You're supposed to be quarantined in a room because of the gastro issue. It was Mykonos. I almost lost it. So I did in fact not get to see Mykonos because of the shitty food on the Royal Caribbean ship that gave me food poisoning. Oh, by the way, they charged me $300 for my little medic visit. I didn't know. Then when you're supposed to be quarantined in your room, all your food service is supposed to be comped. I was getting charged for all my room service that I was ordering because they sent me to my room. It gets better. So I guess Royal Caribbean has never heard of HIPAA because they told the whole room service team that Rich Santana in her room has a gastro issue. And when I go to order room service, they don't let me order half the menu. Not only did they not let me order, but they also didn't want to let Austin order because he was in the same room as me. And then that would mean that I would be eating regular food and I'm only allowed to have soup. Like, the end, they said that I was going to get some sort of credit if I called customer service. Honestly, I don't care. I'd rather just make this video and have this not happen to somebody else. Don't go on that cruise, guys. Bye.
Below Deck really does not lie. I worked on a cruise ship for 6 years and I've seen the most disgusting, the dirtiest things. I've met the grimiest people. I've met the craziest people. But one story out of the several thousand that I have to share, I could actually make a 100-part series on how many stories I have from working on cruise ships. But the one thing I'll never forget is my first week on the boat. So I used to work on an ocean ship and it would go just through the islands of Hawaii. And on the ship, there was this long route on the ship because it was like super, super long. It was basically the entire bottom of the ship. We called it Route 66. I wasn't even 21 years old when I first started working on this ship. And I wasn't able to go out and drink with everyone. I wasn't able to do all the fun, crazy stuff. But I remember just having a really difficult time sleeping on the ship because the beds are solid as a rock, like rock solid, okay? And I'm literally just out. It's probably like 12 a.m., maybe 1. And I'm just up, I'm up because I can't sleep. And I'm walking down Route 66. And tell me why I saw this girl Butterball. I'm talking about Butterball. She didn't have no clothes on, child. She was just walking down the hallway. And she literally was like, just dazed and confused. And I'm like, this is literally my first night. Like, mind you, this is my first impression of Mystery Woman. And I'm like, excuse me, are you okay? And then before I could even say it, her boyfriend walks out into the hallway, grabs Miss Mamas, and is like, get back in here. And she's like, you just kicked me out. You just kicked me out. And she's like pushing him and crashing out on him. Mind you, she's still butterball naked. He didn't even bring her nothing. Turns out he kicked her out of the room, kept her clothes in the room. Girl was literally blasted, hammered. She drank. She was like drunk. You could smell the liquor on her breath. She was so drunk. And I was like, literally, I'm just standing there in awe. And the next thing you know, boat security comes and they're like grabbing her and putting a jacket over her and then taking him. And then I wake up the next morning, both of them are fired, clearly. And I was just like, mind you, this is my first night on a ship. I was in awe. And that is literally that's a softcore story. Like, I have harder stories. Like, I have way more stories. But that was my first experience and first night on that ship. And that one moment told me all I needed to know about where I was working. I was like, dang, this is just a soft, this is like cruise ship 101. Like, what happened when we get to the 200, 300, 400 level classes? Do it really get worse than this? And the answer is yes, because the next day was just as bad as day one. Okay?
Hey, I'm motherfucking 5'3". I ain't no goddamn child. I'm a grown ass motherfucking woman. So you better find you somebody else. You stole our place. You put your confidence when you saw me stepping there. Everybody over here saw you. Just clean when you go out my face. It ain't no use for nobody getting kicked off of anything. Are you going to send your ass on the floor? Somebody just sit here. Please, I'll tell you. You don't need nobody getting kicked off. Just sit here. Just confuse the whole crowd.
All hands, hoist the cup.
Raw emotion as passengers on the Nightmare Cruise finally make it back to dry land.
It was just like living on Deadliest Catch. It was horrible. Things were flying off the tables.
Being on a roller coaster for 17 hours in your room, not even tied down. 45-degree angle is hell.
This passenger suffered a black eye.
I was flung about 18 feet across the cabin, hit a door, knocked myself out for about a minute, got this.
This dad was on board the storm-battered ship with his 2-year-old.
It got really bad.
And this guy was in such fear, he recorded a farewell message to his family.
There were seriously moments where I didn't think we were going to make it.
The cruise ship Anthem of the Seas finally docked in Bayonne, New Jersey last night after being battered by a massive storm on its way to the Bahamas. Some of the 4,000 plus passengers described the ordeal like being inside a washing machine. You can see why from this video shot during the storm.
Oh my God.
And look at this video, the deck furniture literally flying around. One passenger posted this onboard weather map showing wind 116 knots. That's about 130 miles an hour. The cruise line continues to come under attack for not heeding warnings about the storm.
So you can see how quickly it developed that strong wind.
A passenger tweeted, "I would rather have Captain Crunch as my captain." Al Roker says the cruise line Royal Caribbean should have known the weather was going to be bad.
They had plenty of warning.
Yeah.
They made a decision.
One weather service warned 4 days before the ship set sail, storm force winds possible. Royal Caribbean says in a statement, "We apologize for exposing our guests and crew to the weather they faced and for what they went through. We need to do better." The ship finally made it back to port, but because it got here in the middle of the night, some of the passengers had to stay an extra night on the ship. Now the returning vacationers are trying to put the ordeal behind them.
There was moments we were weightless, literally we couldn't touch the floor because it's like being in the front of a roller coaster. And other times that we just couldn't even stand because the G-forces.
My daughters were in one of the bars, and they said an entire wall of glasses came toppling over.
Everything's flying off the shelves, and whew, it was unbelievable. Never been on a ride like that in my life, believe me.
A blessing.
Hello, Callie?
Yes. Oh, I'm recording everything.
Okay. My name is... One second, madam, before you entering. My name is Ansel. I'm the security supervisor. This is my colleague. And this is a body camera which is currently recording our conversation. Okay? So
They refuse to pull up
been... let me finish talking, madam. Yeah. So we have escorted her from her room to pick up some of her stuff. That is only one outfit for tonight.
Why is she being escorted?
Okay, because she was confined in another state.
But why was she confined?
Okay, it has already been spoken.
No.
Okay.
We came in to address the fact that
right.
someone came in our room
Okay, 1 minute.
and our safe.
Before I even coming over here, I had already given you a call and I had spoken to you that you will not make any scene over here. Okay? We have only come over here to fetch her some of her belongings. That is a pair of clothes for tonight, some toiletry, that is to brush her teeth, and secondly, we would want her vape so that we can take her to the casino if she wants to smoke. Okay?
Why is she being
if you're not
held
accommodating this request now,
well, no,
we
I'm
already-
asking
Yes.
why is she being
See, you have been already told about it by my chief security officer.
for what is the reason?
Let me say something. They said that I was going to jump off the ship, but they refused to provide me.
Yeah, they have body cams, but will refuse to provide.
I have to see it. I know.
She never said that.
If you're going to make a big deal, I will take her back to the station.
But I did want that on record because
Okay.
I've requested multiple times.
Yes.
No. I just have a question.
Let us end so I get close.
All right.
If she
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
yes, sir. Are you the captain?
No, I'm not the captain. I met you yesterday. I'm the hotel director.
The hotel?
Hotel director.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you. So, if you guys know, we've had multiple occasions. We've had multiple occasions. Since day one, we have not had a good experience, and it has not just been one thing. It has been multiple things every single day. We've written them down. We took them serious. We're not much to complain, but after it got so far, we did start documenting it and complaining, right?
Ma'am, yesterday, I don't want to cut you off, but yesterday I spent 1.5 hours with you, and I heard all your grievances. And I assured you that we are going to provide you full support.
Right.
But there are certain things where we cannot help you.
Right.
Like your companion being
Right.
restricted in the
Right.
room. We cannot help you with that.
Right.
Because that decision has been made by our corporate
Right.
office.
But I did hear this. I did speak to martial law and international law,
Right.
and they said that without proof or word to word, they cannot detain.
That is absolutely fine. And if your lawyer says we are doing something wrong, you have all the right to press a lawsuit against us. And we
But
will-
why won't you check the footage? Because she did not say that.
we have checked everything, ma'am. And
Have you checked it
I
personally?
have checked everybody.
And-
Everybody who is involved.
Okay, I have a
for the-
question. Where did she say that she was going to jump off the
Ma'am, I
boat?
cannot disclose everything to you. We have disclosed, we have discussed everything with our.
Because I
corporate team.
mentioned that I was staying on the boat until I found my, passports and things like that. But
we
she
discussed
she
that.
never mentioned she was going to jump off the boat though. And I'm begging you, if you listen to the audio, she never once said that. And this is our anniversary, and she doesn't get to spend it with me. We spend $1,000 a night to vacation,
I do
and we have
understand.
had the most horrible experience. If she can just be let out, she passed her psychiatric, when they, whenever they tested her, she passed flying colors. She has no records. She's a NASA scholar. She's a finance manager. She is super smart. She would never say something like that. She will not even get close to the edge. And I'm begging you, person to person, we have been treated so horribly this entire time. And if any of you would just look at the surveillance, I swear to you, that never came out her mouth. She did not say that. I'm not begging you just to let her free. I'm begging you to watch it to prove that she did not say that.
If it was just me or him or the onboard team, we would go back and reverse our decision. But we do not make these kind of decisions by ourselves. We have to involve our corporate team. We have to involve doctors. We have
Right.
to involve.
So can multiple people listen to the audio? Because that was not said. There's a surveillance camera right there. There was 4 body cams, and there was a surveillance right there. That was not said. It was never said. Please listen to it.
Multiple people have assessed the situation. They are expert. They have recommended us to do what we're doing.
But what I'm asking is why is she being detained? Because there was 5 surveillances, and she did not say that. She never once said anything about jumping off board or over the boat. The only thing that was mentioned about a boat is I said that if I didn't find my money, I guess I was going to stay on the boat. Until I find my passports, my money, my wallet, I was going to stay.
We are talking about that one particular statement which was made in your presence.
Yeah, my
right?
presence.
Yes.
She
But-
never said
but
anything like
after
that.
there was a series of conversation with your companion, between your companion and the security team. And
I was with
then,
her the whole time. We walked straight out after that.
Ma'am, we don't enjoy doing that. Our team here is very professional.
Right.
We don't enjoy retaining people or detaining people.
Right, but she's being detained wrongfully because it was not on camera. She did not say that.
If you feel that we are doing anything wrong, as I told you yesterday.
And she has no mental health issues. She has no records of nothing. Person to person, I know you have protocols, but it was not said on surveillance. You all had body cameras. It was not said. I never heard her say it. She never said it. I've spoken to her. She said she would never say anything like that. I heard it. The surveillance heard it. Person to person, this is our vacation and it's getting ruined. We pay $1,000 a night to stay here, not to be detained in a jail cell. And just personally, it was not said. So if any one of you could please, if I am wrong, then all means, but I'm not.
Hello.
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 We're back again.
Yes, how are you?
Hello.
Did you collect what you wanted?
No.
So
I've
1 second. I would like to talk to yourself.
Well, actually, she's the best one to talk to.
I'm talking to you. Not
I've
to
been
you.
in the room for 3 hours.
Okay, you are currently under the confinement protocols of this company and the vessel. Okay, so the
Right.
reason why we brought you here is because we're trying to be nice, we're trying to be friendly, and we want you to be comfortable, right? So we've allowed you to come here and pick a set of clothing for you to bring down to the
But why are
confinement.
y'all detaining me?
Okay, you have that's been
that's what we
explained
do.
already.
And I want you to re-explain
I'm
it
not
out
going to
on
explain
camera.
it again. It's already been explained.
No, I have a lawyer that's already told me.
That's fine.
But we have no proof that it was said.
Yeah, without
I would
proof.
like you.
But
no,
her
no.
body camera was on.
Without proof,
And I
she
was
cannot
like,
be
Please
detained.
do me a favor and step back inside. I'm not here to talk to you. What I would like you to do is please do what we approved, what you brought you here for.
But you
okay?
cannot detain her without
If
a
you do not-
lawyer.
if you do not listen to me,
There's no proof. You will not show proof.
if you do not want to collect some belongings, we'll take you straight back down right now.
But you will not show
You have a
proof. She
choice.
did not say that, and you will
have a
not
choice.
show
Okay,
proof.
let's go. We'll take you. If you don't want to
Oh,
pick anything up,
no.
ma'am,
No.
please
I
take
mean,
your hands off.
no. You will not show proof. My lawyer said
me
that you
explain
have
to
to
you.
show proof to
Let me
detain her.
explain to you.
She did not say that.
We are
She did not say that.
company protocols.
That's
If
cool,
you
but she
intervene
didn't
and get in
say
the way,
that.
we will
She
have
didn't
to
say that.
intervene as well.
You've detained
Step
her for
aside,
4
please.
hours.
Step aside.
Okay, but I need clothes.
Step
I
aside.
never wouldn't get clothes.
Thank you very much. Please step aside.
Company protocol, you do have to provide.
Company protocol, you
Please,
have to provide
just
proof.
get-
Show us the proof.
Please get your clothes.
Show us the proof where she said
Miss
that.
Amy was beside me with her body camera.
Go and get your clothes, madam. Thank you very much.
So we would love to see the proof. Yeah, we want the proof. My lawyer said that you have to provide. Oh yes, sir. My lawyer said you had to provide proof to detain her. You have to provide
Your
proof
lawyer's
for
not
reason.
here.
Oh, the lawyer is. He will be
The
here.
medical have already explained the protocols to your friend. They've already explained. I'm not here to explain the protocols of
But
the
what you're
medical. I don't do
saying
that.
never happened, so we want it on camera where it happened. You said you
Are you
have it on
ready?
camera, but you won't
Elizabeth,
show
are you
us.
ready?
Get your cigarette. You want to get your cigarette? I do. Yeah, and then you will.
You were gonna talk to
No. My girlfriend paid $6,000 for this board for her to stay
We're
with
not
me.
here for you.
I know.
We're here because Elizabeth requested to get some clothing. That's why we're
Right,
here.
because she doesn't understand why she's detained.
I have allowed
Why
you.
is she being
I am-
detained?
Hi, you may or may not have seen us on your For You page lately. So, for starters, day 1. So, we have a do not disturb sign on the door. We already tell housekeeping, do not enter. So, we've just gotten to the room. It's been about 10-15 minutes. We hear the captain speaking on the intercom. Lizzie steps outside, listens to the intercom to see what they are saying. Then she is approached by housekeeping, and she has stated that the room that she is in, or cabin, does not belong to her. We are undressed, we are in our undergarments, we just got to our room. He states that she needs to go to guest customer service. She states that she will go to guest customer service to sort the situation out, but let her put on clothes first. He then insists that she does not change clothes, nor does she enter back into the cabin, that she, in her undergarments, goes to the front lobby.
I then overhear the conversation and I bring out our paperwork stating that this is our cabin. Day two is selling. Day two is selling. We get up, we go to breakfast, swim, lay out, do what you do. Later that evening, we had noticed that money and other items were missing out of our cabin. Intimate items at that, taken. Not make a big deal. We did write up a extra do not disturb sign. We then spoke to housekeeping and told him once again, please do not enter. We passed staff and told them our room number and said, please make sure staff does not enter.
After that, I was detained. They told me I had another evaluation the next morning, which I went to. I was a lot calmer. He asked me why I was calmer. I told him because I was held by myself in isolation for 24 hours. Then they brought me to another room, decided again that it wouldn't be safe for me to enter back onto the ship. During this time, I was isolated by myself. I was supervised 24/7. Couldn't go outside the room. They falsified my medical records. So after seeing the psychiatrist, I asked for copies of them, which at first they did deny. But after telling them I wasn't going to cooperate and threatening to send me to the brig, me stating that that would have to be on the report while they sent me to the brig.
Chief complaint brought by security stating she wanted to jump overboard or threatens. Day two, on camera, as you can see on our page, it was then admitted that it was caught on security body footage and it was watched by 2 to 3 members that admitted that they did say, oh yes, we overheard her stated. So first day, word of mouth. Second, it was surveillance. Falsified multiple records. I'm telling you guys, 40 pages thick of falsified previous medical records. She did nothing but comply the entire duration of confinement. First attempt, ER for inpatient psychiatric treatment, determined fitness to fly. Patient arguing about cabin issue, past medical history, asthma, anxiety, bipolar, ADD, and other diagnoses that are non-existent. Poor judgment, impulse control, when nothing she did, even in the videos, but was comply. Patient request to be seen for safety assessment, was seen loud, yelling, screaming, and irritable. Lie. Never requested, never loud, never irritable. All on camera. Needs constant monitoring. She is not fit to be on board. This is a mental health crisis. Needs ER for inpatient psychiatric treatment. Lies. So as they were trying to detain her and send her to psych wards or mental wards, all of her contact information, even though they had emergency contact, ID, proof of everything needed, girl had. Here it is. Email. Fake email. Fake phone number who belonged to the physician. Scary. And then, and look at here. Who belongs in the state of Florida? Wrong contact, wrong email, wrong number, wrong state. If she was ever to be deported, where would she be? Emergency contact surely wasn't listed. 23-year-old patient with known history of bipolar disorder. Wrong age and wrong mental disorder, is not diagnosed with mental bipolar disorder. Grand delusions, impulsive and may be at risk to herself or others. Never once gave symptom or cause that she was at risk or harm to herself, but yet was detained.
During this time, they tried to strap me down to a gurney and port me to a hospital away from the port after we had already got there. They were speaking different languages. If it wouldn't have been for port police, there's no telling what they would have. Problem.
Okay, I have the time this morning. I'm going to make a story time. So about a year ago, my parents happened into this cruise situation with another family. And so they invited my entire family on the cruise, and they invited my girlfriend as well. And so my girlfriend and I were like, yeah, we've never been on a cruise. Let's go on a cruise. Heck yeah. You know, we've seen stuff about cruises, the shows, and the all you can eat, the all you can drink, like the water slides, the pools and everything. Like, it seems so fun and exciting. Heck yeah. So then, like, a week before we leave for the cruise, my parents sent us a link to the boat, and they were like, this is the boat we're going on. And they send it to us, and we're like, what? So we ended up learning that this was an Alaskan cruise, which, like, we knew that more than a week in advance. And would we have preferred to go on, like, a sunny beach cruise? Yes, absolutely. But, like, also neither of us had ever been to Alaska. Neither of us had ever been on a cruise. We were like, sure, how fun. Don't ever go on a cruise with Holland America. Don't ever go on a cruise with Holland America. That's the cruise line we went with. And when we looked up the boat, the Eurodam, we were like, what are we gonna do all week? When I tell you this boat was almost exclusively sitting room. Like, I'm not even kidding. Almost exclusively sitting room. Because then we got on the cruise, and the average age on the boat, I kid you not, I'm not exaggerating. They told us this. The average age on the boat was 72. 72! My girlfriend and I were the only queer couple we saw the entire time we were on the cruise. It was a 10-day cruise, and we were the only queer couple we saw the entire time. There were no old gay men, there were no older lesbians, there were no queer appearing people besides, like, one staff member. My girlfriend is Black, and including the staff, she was in the less than 1% of people on the ship who were Black. So my girlfriend and I stuck out like a sore fucking thumb. And when I tell you there was nothing to do on this cruise the entire time, like, sure, they had, like, little activities going on, but they weren't. And then, like, you get to the ports, and if you hadn't paid, like, $1 bazillion to do all of the excursions, then there was also nothing really to do at the ports other than, like, shop in the, like, 3 shops that there were in each little Alaska town. And we didn't have $1 bazillion to spend on excursions, and so we just kind of, like, walked around every time, which, like, Alaska's beautiful, and, like, everywhere we went, people were just, like, staring at us, glaring at us, to the point that we thought about picking up t-shirts at one of the ports and writing, "It's not polite to stare," on our shirts. At one point, we saw this, like, health guy who was telling us all this stuff about our health and then charged us each $1,500 without our consent for, like, some cleanse. And then my dad had to fix that later and get it taken off of our account. It was all you can eat, but we're vegetarians, and they had next to no vegetarian options, to the point that I had a baked potato every single day for lunch for 10 days. A baked potato. We never once felt any of the drinks we had the entire time. And when I tell you we were drinking the entire time to try to have a good time, we really were. The best time we had was at our stop in Canada, where we got to go to a gardening shop and we got to walk around in Canada. We loved Victoria, Canada. Our highlight of the cruise was watching the Disney Bears documentary in our stateroom. I also didn't know that I was going to get seasick, and I was pretty seasick for, like, half the time, which obviously put a damper on it. And their infirmary was only open for, like, an hour a day at, like, super random times, and they didn't make it really known. And so I couldn't get help until, like, the 3rd day. And they were super, super stingy on giving any meds. And so much of me was like, the average age being 72 on this boat, and then also not having an infirmary open, like, at most times, feels so dangerous. I'm like, somebody could totally die on this cruise and nobody would know. But when I say there was literally nothing to do. There was nothing to do other than sit. If you brought cards, you could play cards. There were some games, like, at some points in the ship, but there were also, like, 6 kids, and there was, like, a pool and a half. But the pools were not heated, so they were, like, so cold. And then the hot tubs, like, weren't great either. And of course the hot tubs were always taken because there was nothing to do on the cruise, and there were 2 hot tubs on the entire cruise. And the pools were overrun by children who you knew were just, like, peeing in the pool. And there were, like, 10 kids on the entire cruise. There really weren't that many kids, but the kids took over the pools. Which I don't blame them. There was nothing else to do. And oh my gosh, I feel so bad for the people that work on cruises. Like, so many of these people are international, and they're just being so exploited. It's crazy. They're not getting paid great money, like, ever. And so many of these people would be working, like, the nighttime shift until midnight, and then we'd see them at breakfast the next morning at, like, 6, 7 a.m. These people were so overworked. I felt so bad. And we were really nice to them, but so many of the cruise goers were so mean. Oh my gosh, the people on this cruise were so rude. People really do live in their own world on a cruise, for real. Yeah, I don't know. It really convinced me after, between that, the Amy Bradley is missing thing, the train wreck poop cruise thing, I'm convinced to never go on a cruise literally ever again. That was a nightmare. It was terrible. It was a terrible 10 days, if I'm being so honest. We were sick. We were ostracized. There was nothing to do. We were bored. Don't go on a Holland America cruise. Don't do it. The Eurodam sucks. We called it the Euro Dam the entire cruise. Yikes. Anyway, thanks for listening. I gotta go.